Recently, a House of Representative members in the Nigerian National Assembly, I think his name is Gani Johnson, he came out to say that they need to put some laws, they need to pass some bills to put some restrictions on Nigerian doctors on how frequent they can move overseas in search of greener pastures. They want to restrict them for at least a period of 5 years after they have graduated to practice in Nigeria for a period of 5 years before they can get their full license and sponsorship. Then by that period, they can be able to have served the country for at least 5 years. They should be able to at least contribute to the community, the society for before they can move their talent abroad. Now that is, I hear a lot of people shouting and crying in the internet, especially people in the UK and Canada. Those doctors and nurses, they are shouting that this is a nonsense law and it doesn't make sense. Actually, it's not a nonsense law. Every country are actually pursuing for something like this. Countries like Malaysia also is fighting brain drain because a lot of their medical practitioners are moving over to Singapore because they earn more money. They earn 3.5 times more money than what they earn in Malaysia. So every other countries also are fighting this kind of stuff. Even talents from the US are moving over to other countries, countries like Singapore. Talents from the European countries also are moving over to other countries. So people tend to move around to countries they feel like they can make more money or they can have a better living or different other things. So you wouldn't blame the government for trying to fight this brain drain because actually it is not the medical doctors that studied in private institutions actually the ones they are talking about and the ones that they can be able to control, if you heard what they were saying, is the ones that they contributed to the cost of their tuition, the ones that they gave some sort of subsidy for their tuition, and the ones that studied in the public universities. So those are the ones that they can be able to control because if government have given subsidy to your tuition, for instance, the total cost of your tuition for practicing doctor or any medical related field in Nigeria probably in 5 years, if the total cost is probably 5 million naira, the government maybe would have given you a subsidy of 2 million or something. That is just an example. I don't know the actual amount. And then after the government gave you, they brought out money from the national treasury and gave you a subsidy to cut down the cost for you. And then after you have finished studying, and then you move that talent to abroad, and then you go and use the talent to contribute to the welfare of other nations. It is wrong for every economy. It is very, very unhelpful for every economy. So no government will allow that to continue happening. And that's why they are trying to put up that law. So you do not totally blame them. That is actually a good policy, but they have to make it in a balanced way, in a fair way that it wouldn't totally affect people that study doctor or any medical related field in Nigeria. So it is not a common thing. It's a common thing actually. It's not a new thing. Every country in this world fighting in some countries already have policies in place that will cut down on that. Malaysia, for example, is currently fighting brain drain. A lot of their medical practitioners are moving abroad, especially Singapore. They are moving over there because, for instance, if you are practicing medicine doctor in Malaysia, if you're earning 7,000 ringgit, if you move over to Singapore, you could be earning over 20,000 ringgit if the money is converted. So that is one of the reasons why people are moving around the globe. And I don't think that our people should be complaining and shouting in the internet about this new policy. Even though I'm sure that they wouldn't really pass it very easily because some people will still oppose it in the National Assembly. But our nurses and our doctors in the internet, those in the UK, Europe, and American countries, you people need to stop shouting because this is a good policy for a country. But the only thing that we have to blame our country and our politicians is that they need to put up the avenue, the environment to make people stay back after they have finished studying because you cannot force people to stay back in an economy that is not working. If they are working in Nigeria, they earn up to highest 1 million naira per month, and then they move over to the UK, they earn up to 5 million per month. Of course, they would like to move over. So if you want them to stay, at least fix the economy first. Fix the economy, fix electricity, That's very important. Electricity is the most important thing of all, because when there's a steady electricity, there are other economies and other sectors will boom, and then the economy will grow very rapidly. So that is my advice for Nigerian politicians and people that are moving over. Stop shouting. It's not going to affect everyone. If you studied in private university, it's not going to affect you because you paid for your tuition. And if you didn't receive any government subsidy while you were studying, even in the public university, it's not going to affect you. So everyone should stop shouting, and let's try to help Nigeria as much as we can in our own way. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, do share it and leave a comment. And then until I see you again, guys, bye bye.